the 1st of February, we're going to experience a rather challenging, quite difficult full moon in Leo. This full moon is not going to be supported by any planets. The only support or the only interactions are from Sun and host of planets around the Sun in Aquarius. There's heavy energy in Aquarius during this full moon. We've got Mercury, Venus, Mars, Pluto all coalescing around the Sun in Aquarius, and all of these planets are opposing the moon in Leo. That's why we got full moon in Leo. We also have to remember the dispositor or the ruler or the director of this full moon in Leo is the Sun, because Leo is the Sun and is opposing the moon. And the Sun is not really in a good condition in Aquarius, opposing Leo, because the Sun is in detriment in Aquarius. So this full moon is a perfect example of the intense energy or the beginning of the intense monthly energy of February, because the month of February is the month that we've been talking for ages, where Saturn and Neptune is going to conjunct at 0 degree of Aries. This is a once in every thousands of years event. Not only that, there's going to be an eclipse in February also. So this full moon is like a metaphor of the intense energy, astrological energy in February. So this is my simple take on the effect of this full moon in Leo for all 12 rising signs. For the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For my dear Aries rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 5th house. It's about creativity, children, things that lighten up your days, lighten up your life. This is about happiness, romance, your hobbies. Things here that you've been trying or you've been pushing since the new moon in Leo last year. The results will appear or will be shown to you by the universe with this full moon. Because this full moon have a challenging aspect. So if the result is not necessarily what you want, you can either stop, or you can either close down, or you can try to reroute or try to find a new way to get what you want in terms of the 5th house. But remember, full moon is generally about closing, ending, and revealing, and it will happen in your 5th house, and it will show you the results of the effort that you've been putting since the new moon in Leo last year. For the next rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising, the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. For my dear Taurus rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 4th house. This is about your family, your properties, basically your mother, of course, your lineage, your ancestry. This is your home, basically. Whatever you want to achieve or whatever you've been working since the new moon in Leo 6 months ago, last year, the results will appear with this full moon. But because this full moon has a challenging aspect, this full moon could also mean that there's a shutting down or an ending in terms of your family matter or in terms of your effort put towards family or homes. Not necessarily just an ending, it also could be a realization that you need to change your way in terms of your 4th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For my dear Gemini rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 3rd house. This is about your siblings, communication skills. This is about your upskilling. This is about social media also. This is about your immediate environments. This is also about your gadgets, your vehicles. Basically, this is the house of communications and siblings. Whatever you've been doing since the last new moon in Leo 6 months ago, the results will happen, or the results will be revealed to you by the universe with this full moon. Whether you want to end things, you want to improve things, or you want to find another route to your destination will also become clear with this full moon in Leo. The next rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising, the most accurate, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For my dear Cancer rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 2nd house. This is about money, self-worth, and things that you deem valuable. So basically this is about value and money. So your efforts to make more money will reveal the results with this full moon. And whatever you need to change, whatever you need to stop, whatever that you need to end, because this is culmination, ending, full moon, it will reveal itself with this full moon. So you can take the next step for making more money. For the next rising sign, we will go to Leo rising, the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For my dear Leo rising friends, this full moon is going to happen in your first house. This is about you. You are the star of this full moon. Leo is the zodiac sign of the star. So whatever you've been trying to do 6 months ago since new moon in Leo, the results will appear with this full moon. Because it's happening in your first house, it's about appearance, your aura, it's about your body. The first house is a very public house together with the 10th house. So this is going to be a public revelation in terms of whatever effort that you've been putting in terms of your first house. If it's good, then good for you. If it's not up to your standard or not what you wanted to achieve, you can either stop it or change route or change course. This new moon will reveal to you what you need to change. Sorry, this full moon will reveal to you what you need to change. For the next rising sign, we will go to Virgo rising, the most accurate, followed by Virgo sun and Virgo moon. For my dear Virgo rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 12th house. This is about mental health. This is basically a full moon that asks you to prioritize your mental health, your rest, your relaxation, your isolation. Remember, in isolation, in silence, we often can get what we need. The universe often gives us ideas, solutions when we're in isolation. Take good advantage of that. Take good advantage of this full moon happening in your 12th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. For my dear Libra rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 11th house. This is good. 11th house is a good house. This is about your friendship, networking, social media, hopes and dreams, long-term goals, and also gains, money that you gain from all of that, as well as from your career, 10th house. So this full moon will highlight your efforts in those things. This full moon will help you determine which is your friend and who are your friends and who are not your friends. So you can make the necessary actions either to stop or end, or to find a new way so you can grow your friendship or your networking or your gains. For the next rising sign, we will go to Scorpio rising, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 10th house, about career, public image. If you want to be celebrity or a famous person, this is the full moon to watch, because it will reveal to you whatever you've been doing or your effort in terms of your 10th house, career, and public image since the last new moon 6 months ago in 2025. So if the result is good, good for you. If the result is not so good, then you can make adjustments. And those adjustments can be revealed to you through this full moon. So you can take the next step. For the next rising sign, we will go to Sagittarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius sun and Sagittarius moon. For my dear Sagittarius friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 9th house. It's trining your energy and in a good house. So it's about traveling, religion, optimism, law. This is about the higher minds. This is basically the higher parts of your minds that control the outlook when it comes to life. So if you want to manifest through your minds, like Neville Goddard, for example, this is the full moon to watch. So use it. And things in your mind that is no longer helping you, and try to prepare for in the next new moon, so you can make sure that your mindset, the 9th house, is a mindset house, so you can manifest better. It's also the house of travel. So if you've been trying to travel, been trying to obtain a visa, this full moon will highlight or will reveal to you the results. For the next rising sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun and Capricorn moon. For my dear Capricorn rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 8th house. This is the house of crisis, transformation, hidden secrets, the occult, but also this is a money house because it's opposing the 2nd house. This is about other people's money, shared resources. If you want to invest or you already invest your money, the results or the opportunities could be revealed to you with this full moon in Leo. So watch out. If you have personal planets aspecting the 13 degrees of this full moon in Leo, which is 13 degrees in Leo, then take a look. Maybe this is your time. Maybe your investment could blow up in a positive way, or it could blow up in a negative way. Just bear in mind, be aware that the 8th house is the house of transformation. This is the house that will reward you substantial amount of wealth. But in order for you to have that or to gain that, it needs to take something from you also substantially. So this full moon in Leo will highlight that. For the next rising sign, we will go to Aquarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. For my dear Aquarius rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 7th house. Marriage, partnership, your relationship with others. This is also about business partnership. Your clients also seen in the 7th house. If you're trying to be famous or you work in the creative fields, your audience is also in the 7th house. So this full moon will highlight the 7th house, which is the house of other people. Relationship. If you're married, then this will highlight your spouse. If you're in a relationship, whether it's romantic, personal, or business, this is also will relate to your partner. So this full moon will highlight things that you've been doing or your effort since the last new moon last year in terms of your partnership, whether it's business or romantic. If you've been trying to have good, solid foundation in your marriage, this full moon will highlight the results. Whatever it is, positive or negative, this full moon will highlight your relationship, and it's up to you whether you want to take the necessary step to end things if it's not working well, or to try to improve things if you still want to have a go at it, or you can use this full moon energy to take another route, so you can have the relationship that you want and that you need. For the last rising sign, we will go to Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my dear Pisces rising friends, this full moon in Leo will highlight your 6th house. This is about improvement. The 6th house is the house of improvement. Health, pets, daily details, your life, and also the details of your work, 10th house, career, can be seen in the 6th house. So if you want to improve your work, this full moon will highlight it. Improve your health, the results, this full moon will highlight that. If you've been trying to improve your life in general, chores, doing more chores, make sure the house is clean, improving the house, or improving your life in general, whatever the results that you've been putting since the last new moon in Leo, 6 months ago, this full moon will highlight the results. Whether it's good or bad, either you can satisfied with it, good, or if it's bad, then you can take the necessary step to end whatever you've been doing and then find another route so you can improve your life, because the 6th house is the house of improvement. You cannot just sit still and expect things will improve by themselves. No, because whatever it is in the 6th house, your effort needs to go into improving your life. So this full moon will highlight the results of that effort.